Good morning. It is Saturday, October 2nd, I believe. Pete is hunting, and actually he called me yesterday afternoon and he got a mule deer on very first day. So that was kind of exciting. So he's actually headed home. He'll be home late tonight. So you can kind of see what's going on. So we've had a lot of rain in the last couple days, like 8 inches of rain, 3.5 and 4.5. So anyway, but things are actually looking pretty good. Cabbages out here are starting to head, which is kind of exciting. So we'll have cabbage in about 4 weeks. Tomatoes, I'm just letting them go. But it's just completely full of cherry tomatoes. I'm harvesting them every day. And the beans, we're not really doing anything with the beans, but I like them. They're pretty. And then the Kakuzi squash is the other thing that's up there, the big thing. I harvested a whole bunch of peppers, just like maybe 2.5 gallons. And I sliced them all up, and they're all different colors. They're super pretty. And I canned them. I pickled them yesterday. So here's my beets, these beets over here. And I actually have some down here that I could harvest anytime I want. Still have flowers, and I'm still picking them and having them in the house. Getting bell peppers down there, and then my tomatoes are just, they're kind of crazy, but they're setting lots and lots of fruit. So we will get a whole bunch of tomatoes before the freeze. So here's kind of what's going on here. The strawberries are dying back. My squash, it's not really warm enough, and so it's not doing so good. And then out here, the tomatoes are all setting fruit. I'm getting lots of, we'll have lots more tomatoes. And you see the beans back there. They're right there, and this is the bean trellis, and they're actually doing good, and they're producing beans. And artichokes are coming back, so that's good. I think the hard winter in the transplant was tough on them, but they're still alive. Anyway, so I have flowers, and I have cabbage down there, and I have beets down on the right row, but they just didn't do very good. And chickens get in the garden every so often, so a little more flowers. So the big thing is what I've done in the high tunnel, although we'll go over here and look, and these are our sweet potatoes that we harvested. And so they stay in here for 2 weeks, high humidity and hot, and then they'll be ready to store. So high tunnel is where I've been working, getting ready for winter. Over here, nothing much changed. Tomatoes. I've got some more tomatoes to plant, and I've planted some more. The carrots are actually doing really good, and I'm starting to harvest. And then the banana tree, just crazy. So over here, broccoli, which is getting big, and asparagus, which I'm so ready to be done with. And there's a tomato in there. More broccoli, some kale, that's mostly for the chickies. And I planted these this morning. These are rutabagas, and then beets. And over here, I've got some cauliflower, couple different kinds of cauliflower, and some tomatoes. They're fast tomatoes. They're 56 days, so I think we'll have time to get them. And the beans they're really cool looking, and they have beans on them. And I tasted them, and they taste really good. So I believe we will probably pickle these or do spiced beans. Leeks are doing really good, and I'm thinking about mounding up to make them so they're more white, which is kind of traditional. And then there's the peas, and they're also doing really well. So it's looking back. So there's the center. And then over on the other side, Brussels sprouts are doing great. Beets in that, and that's pretty much all full of beets with just a couple Brussels sprouts. I originally planted it with Brussels sprouts, but they just didn't, for some reason they didn't do well, so I put beets in there. And then this is all cabbage, and this is carrots that I planted from pelletized seeds, so that you can actually see where you're planting them, and they're all coming up, and they look really, really great. So I'm kind of excited about this. This is lots and lots of carrots. And then this is more carrots. So lots of carrots here, and then more beets and some parsley, which I planted from seed, and it's just now starting to really take off. And then more beets over here. And over here I got more things to plant. So obviously I planted too many tomato seeds, so there's a whole bunch of tomato plants. I'll see if anybody wants some. And then these are onions, and you let them get maybe 6 or 7 inches tall, and then you kind of separate them out and then plant them. So that's kind of what's going on. I still have flowers, which I love, and it's feeling productive. I will talk to y'all later.